time's one of those things where the older I get, the more I realize like anything I do is attributed to my ability to create time for myself, for personal, for professional. One of my friends, his name's Drew. He was telling, we were talking about this actually, and he was saying, he's like, people tell me that they don't want to get up early in the morning because they're not morning people. And he's like, well, like what kind of person are you? Does that mean you're like a night person? So you're just up all night? Like nobody's like a morning person. But you train yourself to do that in an effort to create more time for yourself throughout the day. I was initially turned on to this by a podcast called the 5 a.m. Miracle Morning podcast.
Cool.
And yeah, this guy's whole thing is just like, look, you get up at 5 a.m. He's like, you're giving yourself like 2-3 extra hours in the day that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So I've taken that to full heart. I don't get up quite at 5. I think I'm pushing more like 5:45. Maybe like 5:30. But that little amount of like change allows me to figure out give me more time during the day to work on things outside of just my day to day. So at each different stage of my career, I've always been doing things on the side, and people are like, well, how the hell, like, how are you doing this? Like, I don't understand. But it's mornings, it's nights, I have a daughter now, she's 2.5. So it's even harder now, but you're still able to do it. You just have to make time.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the most valuable commodity for all of us.
And it's so much different than the mindset you hear of, oh, once I have kids, I guess I have to stop doing all the things I love. Got to stop being part of these groups. It's like, what are you talking about? It's just about prioritization. And I feel like so often, one of the greatest things to do is to sit down and actually add up what you do with your time and analyze it like legit. Oh, wow, I thought that I was sleeping 8 hours, but really I was waking up and then laying in bed for an hour looking at Imgur or something like that.
Yeah.
And just realizing that like there is so much time wasted that is so passive we don't even see it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's I think the most crucial part of time being wasted is like the final part of your day. I think that we all have a custom, this habit of just like, I need to turn off, so I need to watch some TV. And like, sure, like I get it. I do it too every night for like an hour or two. But I still make sure I'm going to bed early enough to where I can get up early enough and to be as productive as I want to be. I think it's easy to get sucked into that. Like, I'm just sitting up. So I've catch myself like kind of like setting parameters around, like almost like setting rules of myself. Like in 10 minutes, you're going to get up, you're going to turn off the TV, walk away. It doesn't matter if the episode's over. Like we live in a day of on demand. So that's like one thing. And then the other thing is just in terms of like the weekends. I mean, we like the weekends are a time to rest and relax, but that doesn't mean you don't need to take like 2-3 hours of the day to get some stuff done. Some people aren't really into that. I mean, they feel like we already work enough. But if you want to do things outside of your day to day and you want to make a transition or a move, maybe you have to do that for a couple months. It just depends what you're trying to do. And
I think it's also refocusing what work is, right? I think a lot like this is technically work for me, right? Like creating content, but it's enjoyable and it's something that I look forward to. And so when I'm doing it, it's not like when I was doing spreadsheets in my first job on the weekends and I hated everything in life. It's a completely different thing. And, I'm fine being on a call till 6. I'm fine working on the weekends and editing at night. And I think so much of it becomes like the question you probably get asked is like, well, how do you do it all? How do you have your job and your family and your side projects? It's like, well, it's by not doing other things. Or by making more time for these things. And one of the biggest changes that I've seen is that you will it's almost like if you buy a house that's too big, you will buy enough stuff to fill those rooms. If you open up your day with enough time, you will find things to waste that time with. And so when I look at a day and it says you're free from this block till this block, and it's a big chunk of time, I'm like, shit, I'm going to be way less productive in that time block. When I look at my calendar and it's back-to-back stuff with 20 minutes in between stuff, I'm like, those are going to be some serious 20 minutes of getting some shit done. And I feel that approach really helps. And for me, it's deadlines too. Setting a goal to be on a live stream every morning at 8 a.m. I've never had such a consistent sleep schedule in my entire life. And like just a little change like that. And the coolest thing is once you start doing these things, it forces you to look at and confront other areas of your life where you're not performing at your best. In order to go to bed on time, you have to contend with the other people in the house who are preventing you from getting to bed at time. And so you actually have to learn how to deal with conflict, how to deal with people, how to negotiate. Like there's all these amazing opportunities to learn that come out of putting a restriction in one area of your life.